What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, happy Monday. Happy Monday. We have made it to another Monday. Another glorious Monday. So, we got a lot to get to today, and I hope y'all are ready for it because I got a lot to say. And hopefully we'll get through this stream pretty quickly. Time me, y'all. Hopefully this is going to be a like 20-30 minute stream and we're going to be out of here. Hopefully. Okay. So, want to kind of walk through some stuff real quick because y'all see the title of the show today. And as usual, I theme the shows out and it's going to be around that theme. So, yesterday, I woke up excited because it was the championship game, right? The national champion is going to be crowned yesterday, right? Very exciting. And even though I wasn't actually able to watch the game live, I was excited to ultimately watch the whole thing and check it out and see what happens. And I woke up thinking, yeah, UConn's going to win. Yeah, UConn just has way more talent, way more offensive firepower. They're just the better team. They're going to win. But I was thinking, oh, nah, this is not going to be like the blowout that we saw a couple months ago. This is not going to be the blowout of February where UConn beat South Carolina by 29 points. I was like, no. This is a different South Carolina. This is a South Carolina who learned their lesson. Yes, they're going to lose, but they're not going to lose by 20 points or more. They're not going to lose by that bad, right? The 29-point game was enough of a wake-up call for them. I thought this was about to be a game, and I thought it was about to be a close game, but ultimately, yes, South Carolina was going to lose. But, guys, I was not prepared for what we actually saw. No, it wasn't a 29-point victory by UConn. It was a 23-point victory. And it was a whole lot of yikes on bikes. Because yesterday afternoon was a great afternoon. As well as a horrible beatdown. Right? If you are a UConn fan, you are ecstatic because your team did not just win a national championship. They took South Carolina to class for the second time this year. For the second time, guys. The Huskies cruised to a very emphatic, especially in that second half, 82-59 win. Or I'm sorry, 85 to 51 win. It's wild. It's wild. They end up winning their 12th title ever as a program. And we end up seeing what would have been a fantastic game turn into, at one point, a slaughter. Paige Bueckers ended up capping off her college career exactly how every star dreams. She ended up on top. That's what she did. She ended up on top. And also now is the UConn player with the most career NCAA tournament points. Yesterday, Paige Bueckers does not have the best offensive game possible, but defensively, she absolutely did her thing. Defensively, and on offense, she got points on the board. Yes, not efficient, but 17 points for her, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, fantastic defense throughout this game, and this is how she wanted to go out. Every kid dreaming of women's basketball stardom, I guarantee you, has made made several what am I trying to say? As a kid, you dream about this type of stuff. Sometimes you write it down. Sometimes you write it down and you imagine you're on the court and you imagine, oh my goodness, I just won the national championship, and like, how would I act? How would I move? How would I move around? How would I do stuff? And for Paige Bueckers, she came into college, was the best player in the country, made it to the national championship game, lost to South Carolina. That's how her career started off. Had several setbacks, several injuries, and now she accomplished her main goal, won a national championship. And the crazy thing about it is she wasn't even the best player on the court yesterday. Wasn't even the best player. Because, guys, let's be honest with you. This game, while this was a great fitting ending for Paige Bueckers, the brutal honest truth, guys, is that this game for South Carolina was nothing short of yikes on bikes. After a pretty decent start to this game in the first quarter, South Carolina just vanished offensively. They missed layup after layup. Yes, contested, but still missed it. They missed makeable shots that in the past they would make. By halftime, we saw a 10-point lead by UConn. After halftime, it got worse in the third quarter, where we saw AZ Foot dominate, and we saw Sarah Strong just continue to show how special she was. UConn. Can you imagine if UConn was actually on from the three-point line? There was so much work that South Carolina put into preventing UConn from making threes. And UConn only made 4 in this game. Imagine how crazy this game would have been if that not happened. Because remember, the last time South Carolina played UConn, the thing that cost South Carolina a lot was UConn's three-point shooting. Right? But that wasn't the case yesterday. Because, yes, Sarah Strong knocks down two threes, who was phenomenal. I'm going to talk separately about Sarah Strong in a sec and whatnot. But this team got the job done from the mid-range. UConn was barely hitting from deep. Imagine if they would have did that in this game. That'd have been crazy. Because here's the deal. Sarah Strong and AZ Foot did not just step up in this game. They absolutely took over. AZ Foot was unstoppable. 24 points for her. The most outstanding player honors for her, which in a lot of ways, I kind of wanted it to be a tie. Because Sarah Strong, yes, AZ Foot was the huge X factor, but I'ma tell you, Sarah Strong and what she did down low to basically deflate anything that South Carolina was trying to do, especially their posts, it was amazing to see. 24 points for AZ Foot, 3 steals for her, 5 rebounds. She was doing a little bit of everything, and it started on defense. Right? And it felt like AZ was just, she wasn't even doing anything out of the ordinary. It felt like it was just a natural flow of the game for both her and Sarah Strong. And Sarah Strong, the freshman, the true freshman, was straight up phenomenal, guys. 24 points, 15 rebounds. This was someone who had 5 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, but she altered way more shots than that. Yes, officially she had 3 blocks. Officially. But I'm gonna tell you, she adjusted at least 8 or 9 shots in the post. I'm just saying, like, she was absolutely fire. Okay? And got some records in there for freshman performances as well. And for South Carolina, they were lost. It was like they were lost in the wilderness. Like they just couldn't do anything, especially in that second half. Their stars were practically invisible. Joyce Edwards and Tessa Johnson barely scraped by to get 10 points. Right? In this game. This is far from the top scorers you expect on the opposing team in a national championship game. Sure, if you lose, sure, that someone has to lose. However, you don't expect the national championship game to feature 2 players on the opposing team with 24 points, someone with 17 points, and then your team got 10 and 10 leading the squad. And it's not just them. It was everybody else. Mylasia Fulwiley. Bad game overall. Chloe Kitts. Really, really, really bad game. And it started with the defense. I can go down the list. So for those who are like, oh, you forgot to mention this person. Raven Johnson, Tahina Powell, Bree Hall, Sanaya Fagan, Chloe Kitts, Joyce Edwards, Mylasia Fulwiley, and Tessa Johnson did not come to play the full 40 minutes. They didn't. Oh, why do I have the wrong graphic? Oh, I got the UCLA graphic up. Oh, crap. This whole time I've been showing the UCLA graphic. Hold on. Oh, my goodness. I thought I put the right graphic in. Hold on, guys. Hold on. The problem is I have so many graphics in the system that I use that sometimes I get confused. 1 second, guys. Let me update the graphic. That's embarrassing. I'll tell you that. All right. There we go. That's the right graphic. All right. Anyway, 82-59. All right. My bad, y'all. Anyway. What was I saying? South Carolina was abysmal in this game. They shot 34%. 34% in this game. They were 4 of 16 from the 3. They were just overall just getting cooked, and they had no answer, no real adjustment, nothing they could really do that worked. And, you go from halftime, you go into the third quarter, and it was pure carnage. UConn stretched their lead, thanks in huge part to, as I said earlier, AZ Fudd, Sarah Strong. And the fourth quarter, when the fourth quarter hit, Mama turned off the TV, and you might as well just drop the confetti. You might as well drop the confetti and had that flowing at the start of the fourth quarter, because it was over. It was over, guys. But guys, in all honesty, guys, this was a huge, perfect storm for UConn. This was a healthy squad. This was a pretty balanced offense. Well, all you needed was 2 out of your 3 to make some noise. Suffocating defense. And all of that helped to make South Carolina look amateurish in this game. Like, at parts it did look like amateur hour. And for a team that is as good as South Carolina, that's hard to do. That's very, very hard to do against South Carolina. Gino Auriemma becomes the oldest coach to claim a D1 basketball championship. And his legacy just continues from here. And Paige Bueckers, she walks off college, the collegiate stage exactly the way she wanted, as a champion. 4 Final Four appearances later, she finally got her ring. And of course, she was emotional about it. She hugged Gino for a while as she was getting subbed out for the last time, because it was mission accomplished. It was mission accomplished. For UConn fans, I'm sure, this game was pure euphoria. For South Carolina fans, this was a day that you want to forget. Or perhaps, something that'll fuel your motivation for a comeback. Okay? And, Dawn, I really liked what she said in the press conference. She was, she was like, hey, I hope they're crying. And she was specific. I believe it was Joyce Edwards that she was talking about, where she was like, I just let her sit in her sadness and let her process it. Here's the deal: these South Carolina players are feeling it, especially the young ones. They're feeling it, and this is a lesson learned, right? A lesson learned. While this was embarrassing, in my opinion, while this was not the game that they wanted to put on in front of their fans, sometimes it happens, and it gives you extra motivation to learn and to grow. Tisha, facts, says lessons learned to come back strong in 2026. Yeah. That is true. That is very, very true. All right. Faith, I'm gonna humor you for this one comment, and then I'm done today. It says, Quita be hating on Paige. We get how much you like Caitlin Clark, but this was all about Paige the superstar. Like it or leave it, Quita. Faith, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. How am I hating on Paige? What in the world did I say that hates on Paige? I don't get it. Paige didn't have a great offensive night. Literally, from a scoring perspective, that's an objective fact. If that's hating, I don't think you know what reality is. I don't. She shot 5 of 14 from the field. It's a bad offensive night in terms of scoring. Or afternoon, I guess. Was she great on defense? Absolutely. Absolutely, she was great on defense. Did they need her to have a 30-plus point performance? They did not need her to do that. So, I don't understand what I am doing to hate. I don't get it. And I like Paige and Caitlin the exact same. If one of them played for my Chicago Sky, I would like a little bit more. But I like them the exact same. Doesn't matter to me. So, yeah. I don't know what you want me to say. Do you want me to say she's the best thing since sliced bread? No, she's not. Do you want me to say that she should have been the MVP of yesterday's game? No, she should not have. No. Because, yes, she did have some fantastic games this tournament to get to this point. But most outstanding player for yesterday's game was AZ Fudd. I don't know what you want me to say. So that's it. That's all I'm commenting about. Because sometimes I feel like y'all are very, very irrational. Truly. I'm just saying. All right. And then also, if it wasn't AZ Fudd that was getting the most outstanding player, it was Sarah Strong, who was absolutely fantastic in this game. All right? So, yeah. Anyway. Let's move on. All right, let's talk about let's talk about Gino Auriemma. And Chris Daly, for that matter. But specifically, Gino Auriemma. Here's, I actually saw a really awesome article. This article was in, I think it was in The Athletic. I read it this morning. So I'm gonna drop the link in the chat if y'all want to read the article. It's a great article. I'm just want to talk about parts of what the article says and then my overall thoughts. And it's specifically about Gino Auriemma. Because here's the deal. One thing we got to get straight is that Gino Auriemma has flirted heavily with retirement. He has said that he thought about quitting multiple times in his head. And he even at one point was going to draft his resignation letter. But 8 hours later, he found himself back in the gym. Drawing up plays, practice plans, getting ready to go. Why? Because after 4 decades, this man is still in it. He's still hooked to the game of women's basketball. And this is something that he absolutely loves. After this title by UConn, this is UConn's first title since 2016. This would be the perfect time for Gino to go out on top. Throw the mic down, mic drop. He's already the oldest coach in Division I basketball to win a title. This man has grandkids. This man has a full trophy case. And a program that has been to 24 Final Fours in 36 tournaments. This is a man who has accomplished just about everything there is to accomplish. Just about everything there was to accomplish for Gino Auriemma. In 2016, people told him, "Hey, man, should you retire? Your class with Brianna Stewart and I believe Morgan Tuck and whatnot, like y'all just won 4 straight titles. Shouldn't you retire after that?" No. Because he was looking at who was coming next. He was looking at the players who were coming next. You had Nafisa Collier, you had Katie Lou Samuelson, Gabby Williams. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, I'm going to do it again. Then we fast forward to 2025. And in my opinion, history will repeat itself. Because it's called the AZ Fudd factor, in my opinion. Okay? Paige Bueckers is heading into the WNBA. We all know that Paige and Gino's relationship was crazy close. Like, he was like her granddad, right? And there was so much connection that them two had, and Gino wanted it so bad for Paige to win a championship. But now, AZ Fudd says she's coming back. Right? She's coming back for another year because she still has more that she wants to do in college. She still loves college. She wants to come back for another year. And she's looking to be very healthy, right? And so you got one more year that it feels like Gino may want to stay for AZ Fudd. But then, right alongside AZ Fudd is the player who also could have been the most outstanding player yesterday, and that is Sarah Strong, the freshman phenom who played like a seasoned vet in the tournament. Gino has been in this position before. He gets to the top of the ladder, looks around, takes in the view, and then he looks over at the players that are still left. And that part of him, kind of kills him a little bit because he knows how much more they can become. And he kind of wants to see them do it. So, just like with, other greats at UConn, like a Stewie, like a Nafisa, like a Diana, like a Maya, AZ Fudd, and Sarah Strong still have a whole lot more to give. And because of that, I don't think Gino is going to walk away when he knows he has one of those rare players under his wing. That's the thing. This is an incredible squad that has two fantastic players that will go down in the record books for UConn on the team. Gino Auriemma with his 12 championships. He could leave, ride off into the sunset, go somewhere else, but I don't think that's happening. I don't think that's happening because of just what he's done before. He is going to stay in this as long as possible because there will always be somebody next. This is UConn. If you thought Paige Bueckers was the last star that Gino Auriemma was going to get, you're mistaken. Hugely mistaken. AZ Fudd's right there. Right behind her is Sarah Strong. And by the time Sarah Strong becomes a senior, I guarantee you there will be another star coming in as a freshman at UConn. Will Gino ever retire? I don't know. But I'm going to tell you this. One thing that I have seen over the years by UConn, and specifically Gino Auriemma, is this man has, I think somebody said it in the chat, and I apologize, your chat went through real fast, and so I don't know who said it, but somebody in the chat, and I agree with them, somebody in the chat said that over the years, Gino has gotten soft. And I think that's true. And I'm going to tell you this, full transparency, I was not a UConn fan when I was younger. I couldn't stand UConn. Like, I really couldn't. Like, I was very anti UConn. Didn't like them at all. Was not a fan of UConn. Was not a fan of the players who played at UConn. Was not a fan of Gino Auriemma. Not at all. But I'm going to tell you this. Over the last 3 years, 2 to 3 years, I would say, I have listened to more interviews, more post-game interviews than I've ever listened to for Gino Auriemma. I've listened to so many post-game interviews, so many just like regular press conferences, so many like interviews where he's like sitting down talking to somebody in long form. And this man has really grown on me. Right? Really, really grown on me. And I'm just like, the more and more I like see and hear from him, it's just like you hear his heart for his players. And he's always had that, but like, I guess maybe more now I'm more receptive to it. I don't know what it is, but like, I think it's kind of just awesome to see Gino Auriemma kind of do his thing. He really is a great coach, and I always knew that. But like, there is a different level of, I think, appreciation that I have for him now more than I did when I was younger. This man is, really trying to push the game of women's basketball forward. And I think with age, he has calmed down a little bit also. I do. And like, he has adjusted to the way that players think now. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that's just a bit of unnecessary transparency for y'all. Thank you so much, Luis, for the super chat. Says Fulali stays ? After benching, it was awkward. Yeah, Fulali stays. Yeah, I think she stays. Yeah, I don't think mileage is going anywhere at all. So yes, I think she stays. I think she's upset. Probably mad at herself more than anything. And ultimately, she'll be better for it. So yeah, I do think that that she'll be back. Now, if she enters the transfer portal, I guarantee I'll be shocked. I don't expect her to enter the transfer portal. I do expect South Carolina to be working hard in that transfer portal. And I believe it was in the post-game presser that Don alluded to that. All right? Michael says, the sad part is Moki is showing her heart, but y'all don't see it. She's way more soft than y'all even know. I mean, Michael, I agree with that. That last part, that she's way more soft than people know. And I feel like sometimes, and this is just maybe this is something I should like further develop as a thought, but I'm gonna just say it and we'll, anyway, just know that this is not a full complete thought. Here's the deal. I think when it comes to basketball and women's basketball especially, there's a need, or life in general, maybe it's not even related to specifically women's basketball, there is a need to create villains. And I think that Kim Mulkey is a villain, seen as a villain, right? Because she's someone who speaks her mind, says what's, she really is open about her thoughts. And at times, is she rude? Yeah, sure. But in a lot of ways, I have seen the care that she has for her players. And while some people may not like her because sometimes she does say stuff that's just like, okay, Kim, she really does have a bigger heart than people give her credit for. And the various clips of her, maybe going off or like something like that, that's more entertaining, right? Michael says, I'm sad because had Pat still been here, that's what these coaches remind me of as I see them age. Yeah. Because here's, like, back in the day, Pat Summitt was the hero and Gino was the villain in a lot of ways. That's why I didn't ride with UConn and Gino, because I was a Tennessee fan through and through growing up. And I was very much pro Pat Summitt and anti Gino. Back when I was like very like all into certain teams and whatnot. So, this is one of those things where, I was I was an interesting character when I was younger. But now it's like I don't have a team anymore. But like I used to have certain teams, and I used to like be like, nah, Gino was the villain. UConn was the villain back then. Did they ever do anything to make it seem like they were the villain? No, not really. That was their lane. They were too good, too cocky, too confident. And Tennessee were the very, very talented team who was, just better. But yeah, anyway, let's move on. All right, guys, I think we've hit the 30 minute mark, and so I don't have anything else to say. I said what I wanted to say, and that's it. Yeah, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. This is a Monday, so have a great rest of your week. Y'all better rock out, man. Oh man, hold on, we got to leave on this. Michael, see, here's the deal. There are some times where I could really tell if y'all have been rocking with women's basketball for a long time or not. And I'm going to tell you, Michael, with this comment, says, those were the coaches I remember. Kay Yao, Sylvia Hatchell. So Kay Yao coached at NC State. Sylvia Hatchell coached at North Carolina. I don't remember Jody Conrad. I don't remember her. Gail Geston, course, at Duke. We saw Pokey Chapman at LSU. Kim Mulkey at Baylor. Like that was my C. Vivian Stringer at Rutgers. That was my era. That was my era, guys. Oh, that was my era. That was absolutely my era right there. And so I'm riding with you, man. I'm riding with you, Michael. Yeah. Yes. Those were the coaches, guys. Those were the coaches. All right. Y'all have a good one. I will see y'all in the next one, guys. See y'all tomorrow. For another edition of I forgot. I was about to say Women's Basketball Weekly. Though I'm gonna bring that back. I'm gonna try to bring that back. I gotta figure it out, but I'm gonna try to bring that back because like that's more like professional, long form, that's done in like a real show way, and so I'm gonna try to bring that back eventually, hopefully, fingers crossed. All right, so guys, join me tomorrow for another edition of Quita in the Mornings because my name is Quita and I love some women's basketball, and I'm gonna be here tomorrow morning, so make sure to join me here. All right, guys, I will see y'all in the next one. Tomorrow we'll do the draft. All right, we'll do the draft tulip tomorrow. Tomorrow morning we'll do a mock draft. All right, see y'all soon. Bye-bye.